The biting November wind howled through Blackwood Hollow, rattling the skeletal branches of the ancient oaks that clawed at the bruised twilight sky. I, Elias Thorne, a newly appointed archivist, found myself stranded in this godforsaken place, my rental car sputtering its last breath on the outskirts of the village. My destination, the Blackwood estate, a crumbling Gothic monstrosity rumored to house a library of forbidden knowledge. Now I was forced to rely on the infrequent local transport, the Blackwood coach, if I wanted to reach the estate tonight. The waiting room at the Blackwood Hollow depot was a study in decay. Healing paint, a single flickering fluorescent bulb, and the pervasive scent of damp earth created an atmosphere thick with unease. Only 3 other souls shared the dismal space: a gaunt woman clutching a worn Bible, a burly man with eyes that darted nervously, and a teenager hunched over a phone, oblivious to the palpable tension. The coach arrived with a groan of protesting metal and a cloud of exhaust that momentarily obscured its still updated form. The driver, a cadaverous figure with eyes as black as coal, beckoned us aboard with a skeletal hand. His smile, if it could be called that, was a chilling display of yellow teeth. As I stepped onto the creaking steps, a gust of wind seemed to whisper my name, a sound that sent shivers down my spine. The interior was even worse than the exterior. Torn upholstery, condensation street windows, and a musty odor assaulted my senses. The other passengers settled into their seats, their faces etched with a grim resignation that I found deeply unsettling. As the coach lurched forward, plunging us into the oppressive darkness of Blackwood Forest, an unnatural silence descended. Soon, the silence was shattered by a strange, rhythmic tapping. It was a steady, insistent sound, like fingernails drumming against glass. I strained to locate the source, but it seemed to emanate from everywhere and nowhere at once. The other passengers remained motionless, their gazes fixed straight ahead, seemingly immune to the unsettling noise. Then the tapping intensified, morphing into a frantic scratching. I could feel the hairs on the back of my neck stand on end. I turned to the woman with the Bible, hoping to find some explanation, some semblance of normalcy. Her eyes were wide with terror, her lips moving in silent prayer. Suddenly, the coach lurched violently, throwing us against our seats. The lights flickered and died, plunging us into absolute darkness. A chorus of screams erupted, quickly silenced by a chilling gust of icy wind. The scratching grew louder, closer, accompanied by a low, guttural growl that seemed to vibrate through the very floorboards. I fumbled for my phone, desperate for a source of light. The screen illuminated a scene of unimaginable horror. The windows were covered in bloody scratches, and grotesque, shadowy figures pressed against the glass, their eyes glowing with malevolent intent. The burly man began sobbing uncontrollably, burying his face in his hands. The teenager, still engrossed in his phone, remained oblivious, a beacon of ignorant bliss in the face of impending doom. I looked towards the driver, a desperate plea for help forming on my lips. But he was gone. The driver's seat was empty, the steering wheel spinning aimlessly. The coach was driving itself, hurtling deeper into the darkness, guided by some unseen, malevolent force. The scratching intensified, focusing on the seat directly in front of me. With a sickening crunch, the back of the seat tore open, revealing a gaping hole. From the darkness within, a skeletal hand reached out, its bony fingers grasping for my face. I screamed, a primal sound of pure terror. I scrambled back, knocking over the sobbing man. He looked up at me, his eyes filled with a desperate plea. But I was too paralyzed with fear to help him. The hand lunged forward, its icy touch sending a shockwave through my body. and everything went black. I woke to the sound of birdsong. The sun streamed through the windows, illuminating the dust motes dancing in the air. I was lying on the floor of the coach, the other passengers gone. The hole in the seat was gone too. The coach was parked on the outskirts of Blackwood Estate, its engine silent. I stumbled out of the coach, my body aching, my mind reeling. Had it all been a nightmare? I looked back at the coach, its still updated form shimmering in the morning light. And then I saw it, scratched into the dusty window, a single word, "Miss." I hurried towards the Blackwood Estate, desperate to escape the lingering darkness of the phantom coach. I knew with a chilling certainty that I would never truly escape Blackwood Hollow and the horrors that lurked within its shadows. The estate awaited, a repository of forgotten secrets, and I, Elias Thorne, was about to become another chapter in its terrifying history.